guys, it's Natasha and you're watching Natasha's Creations. So I've been watching a couple YouTubers sharing like scary stories on YouTube and I figured I'd want to share one of mine. Full disclaimer though, names have been changed and these stories are true. They've just been exaggerated for entertainment purposes because my life isn't that exciting. Um, Okay, so a few summers ago I worked at a country club and just some background info, I guess. The club was built on land that used to belong to witches and there was a fire that burned the whole thing down in like the 60s or 70s and it's been rebuilt, and so I worked there for a summer, just one summer a few years ago, and it was an awesome time. I was over 18, so I was a bartender at the restaurant on like the campus, like the area of the country club. And as a bartender, we came in around noon and we closed up the entire club at night. So yeah, like we weren't there like super early in the morning, but we were the last ones to leave. And we'd have to stay working until the very last patron left the club or the restaurant. And in case you don't know what a patron is, it's basically like a member of the club or like a customer at the restaurant or bar. Oh, and then if there were dishwashers still in the kitchen, we had to wait for them to finish. And if we wanted to like leave a little earlier, we would help them out. So one night, all the patrons had gone home and I was working with another bartender. There were always two of us. And then like the store employees, the pro shop would sometimes like hang out with us after they closed up. So there was one of them there with us. So there were three of us at the bar and there were two dishwashers in the kitchen. All the patrons had left and we were just sitting around at the bar like telling stories and waiting for the dishwashers to finish. And I was new, so they started telling me like that the place was haunted and that the ghost was like really into technology and would like mess with like the TVs and the lights and stuff. And I mean, you know, it was just fun. Like we were just hanging out there in the middle of the night telling ghost stories. Like I wasn't really taking it seriously or anything. So we finished with the stories. I was freaked out because it was the middle of the night and everyone was gone. And we decided to go help the dishwashers clean up. So we went into that and then we locked up and we left. So as soon as I get to the car, my car starts talking to me. I mean, not like in a creepy way. It was like the Bluetooth just turned on. But I didn't press any buttons or like turn anything on. Like my phone wasn't connected at the time, or maybe it was, but like it wasn't on. And it just like kept like listening to like these commands that like I wasn't giving. And I was really freaking out because they had just told me that there's a ghost in there that messes with technology and now my car is coming to life. So I like drove up to them and like told them what happened and then they got all scared and then I couldn't figure out how to turn this off because nothing was working and it wouldn't shut up. And then as soon as I pulled out of the parking lot, it stopped, which was pretty great because the place was like 40 minutes away from my house, so I would have had to spend the next 40 minutes listening to my Bluetooth. So yeah, that was my first scary story. It wasn't that bad. But then there was another night that really freaked me out and okay, so let's get into that story. So yeah, so a couple weeks passed, nothing really happened, it was all fine. One of the things we had to do to close up was to go down to the pro shop, make sure that like the door was locked, the lights were off, and the TV was off. So I went and I did that, and I noticed that the TV was still on, but the lights were off and the door was locked. So I figured maybe there was like someone still there for some reason, even though I didn't see anybody, and everything was closed up, and all the pro shop employees had left. Like none of them were like with us that night. So I went back upstairs. I told the other bartender, let's call her Rachel. So I told Rachel and she's like, oh, okay, that's weird. And like she went downstairs to check and the TV was off. I don't know, maybe it was like on a timer or something. I really doubt that because no one really knew how to work the TV. It was kind of old, and like people don't just like set timers on TVs anymore like they would have told us, because every other night it was off around this time. But it was on and then it turned off. Whatever, that's fine. So we went upstairs, we finished closing up, and we were a little freaked out. So we like went down to go put the money in the safe together. Usually just like one of us would do it and then come back up. But like we closed up together and we went downstairs together. So the room that the safe was in had these motion detector lights. So like when you walk in or when there's like any kind of movement, the lights would turn on. And remember, there was like nobody here. So we went downstairs and the lights in that room were on. So that really freaked us out. We were like looking all over the room to like try to find someone, and there was absolutely no one there. There was no one downstairs or anywhere in the entire club. We like heard noises coming from the office, so we went in there, and the computer was on, but there was nobody there. So we freaked out and we were just like, no, like we're done. So we like try to run out of the place. And there was like one door that we would have to like open, like unlock to get out of the place and then lock back up when like we left. So we went to that door, we unlocked it, and it wouldn't budge. And this is when we like completely died, because the door wouldn't open. There were like weird lights turning on and off in the place and like weird noises, and we were all alone, and the door was just completely stuck, which never happened. And Rachel started like calling her mom, crying. Like it was really bad. Like I know it sounds super dramatic now, but like in the moment we were really scared. So yeah, I don't know, eventually the door just opened and we left, and we just ran out crying, calmed down once we got to our cars and went home, and nothing like that ever happened again. There were like other little things that would happen while working there. Like they hired a new cleaner, and like I guess the other employees also told her the stories about how the place was haunted. So she would like hang out with me in like the early afternoons when there was no one around to like come to the bar, and like we would talk about how weird the place was. Like there were creepy statues that would like move when you weren't looking. There was an old dusty piano that would start playing notes. She would hear footsteps on the dance floor or like coming down the stairs while she was cleaning, and then she would think it was like our boss, like the owner of the club. And she'd go check and there was no one there. And then there was also this girl working downstairs in the office who said that she would also hear like people talking when there was no one there, or like footsteps around the place. So like little things like that. But like nothing as big as that, like one really scary night. So another thing I should tell you is that all of the employees were like teenagers and like young adults. So like in high school and college. The only actual like adults working there were the owner of the club and the head chef, and then there was like one maintenance guy. But yeah, we would like ask the chef about it, and he'd be like, no, like there's nothing wrong with this place. I mean, it burned down once, but that was it. And like of course the owner never told us it was haunted, but we did notice that she would get like really weird at night and like wouldn't stay past like a certain time of night. So we assumed that she like knew what was going on and just didn't want to say anything and didn't want to deal with it. But oh, another thing is that after some scary things happened, they made a new rule that the employees that worked at the pro shop had to stay with us at night to help us lock up, because all the bartenders for some reason were girls and all like the pro shop employees were guys, and the cleaners were girls too. But they were usually gone by then, and like the dishwashers were also guys. So yeah, we would have to have a male presence while locking up, because there were also like some sketchy things with real people that I'm not going to get into because that's not paranormal and not my business. I wasn't there for that. So yeah, this place was pretty sketchy, but I loved working there. It was so much fun. I didn't leave because it was like haunted or scary or anything. I left because it was a summer job, and then after that I had like internships and babysitting and other stuff to do, so I didn't really have time to go back there. Plus it was really far away from my house. And that was my haunted experience, so I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.